Hey, Katrina here from Scrappyhorses. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, I am working on a card for Twisted Thursday where the optional theme is fall colors. When I think of fall colors, I think of the reds and greens and golds of the leaves, and I think of, apple orchards and pumpkins and falling leaves, of course. And I think of going to the orchards and the pumpkin patches. And so I decided I wanted to use this sweet little image called Pumpkin Emily. And she is from Connie Fong. And I'm using papers from Victoria Designs. They are free samples from fall foliage and autumn harvest. So I've pulled in these three pieces here. And it's this piece with the leaves, and then the apple strip, and the September, October, November up here. And I've selected it, and I have flattened it. Now, the next thing I want to do, because I am making a mask, because I want to put her on the front of this card. So let's bring her to the front. I want to put her in right here, but I want to stamp with a fall stamp around on this paper. So therefore, I need to have something to cover her up so that my stamps don't go over her. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this off here, and I'm going to make a copy of her. So I can right-click with my mouse and just say duplicate, and I have a copy of her. So I'll bring her back over and stick her on here. And let's just go ahead and let's flatten her on. Now that's all ready to go. I'm going to come back now and work with this piece, and we're going to turn her into just a basic cut. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select her. And right now she is a print then cut. I'm just going to tap on this little upside down triangle, and then I'm going to left click basic, and now she's a basic cut. Now when I go to cut her, I would prefer not to have these little bits in. I have a couple of choices. I can remove those before I bring it in, but I wanted them on here to add a little bit. So what I can do is I can come over to shapes, and I can bring in any shape I like. So I'll bring in a circle. Let's make this a little bit bigger so it's easy to see. And now I can just take this circle and I can put it right up in there. Make it a little bit smaller here, so I can get nice and close. Now I'm going to select the girl, and I'm going to select the circle. I'm going to come down over to this right hand side here where it says slice, and I can slice out the little bits that I don't want. So I can just kind of bring that around, bring this back in, and do it again. And you just continue to do that until all the little bits are out that you don't want. It gets a little tricky when you've got the little teeny tiny pieces. I wouldn't even worry about that one personally. I can make this circle really small now. Bring it in here. Just stick it right between her little shoes. And if it gets too small, you can bump it up and make it bigger. Here we go. We're going to just select there and slice again. And again, we can just take all that out. And maybe we need one more circle to get rid of this by the kitty. Okay, so now we have our mask. And as you can see, this is going to fit right on top. Now, here's the trick. we're going to use some Post-it labeling tape. And we're just going to tape it down onto our Cricut mat. All right, so let's go make this. So we tap the Make It. Let's go straight to this gray mat. This is the one where we're going to cut our mask. And we can say Edit on here for just a second, just so we can get it up here and look at it. So we know that when we put the tape on, we want at least 3 inches by 4 inches covered on our mat. So again, here's our mat. We're going to bring it in, make sure this goes down to at least 3 inches by at least 4 inches. Always better to have a little more than you need than not enough. And as you can see, I just slightly overlap them. Okay? All right. Once we've done this, then we need to cut it on sticky note. Okay? Now, I have that up as one of my bookmarked ones. So let's say you don't have this, okay? It's here under sticky note. So go to Browse All Materials and just type in sticky. And there it is. And then you'll just click that and say done. And there it is, sticky note. Then you'll just cut it with your fine point blade. And then when you remove it, you'll want to be very careful. But I show that in the next part of the video. Let's move on. Let's go on over. I'm not going to assemble this entire card. I'm just going to show you how the Post-it works and how to place that on your card and then how to do the stamping over. But I'm sure you can figure out the rest of the assembly on your own. It's pretty simple. All right, let's go on over to the craft table and let's take this off and let's do some stamping. Here we are at the craft table. You can see that I have my mask here, as well as some flowers, a floral button, and my print and cut piece that is all colored. Now we saw the mat, and that's what it looked like, and there it is cut on the mat. I'm being very careful here, and I'm removing these pieces with this tool. I'm going much slower. I've sped this up quite a bit because it was going to be pretty boring. As you can see, it did come apart. Not a big deal because it's all Post-it note. So it's all going to stick on and stick over where you want it. The nice thing is that if you do tear it, which I do right there, again, doesn't matter. Just stick it on and trust that it will work because it will. It's just fine. Now, as I stick it over, just be sure that you're covering up anything and everything that you don't want hit by the stamp. And if you don't have something covered, then you might just cut a little itty bitty bit and fill it in. All right, so I'm testing my stamp here. This is a stamp from Close to My Heart. It's retired. I'm coming in with a light green and an orange. And as you can see, I'm testing all my colors. And now I'm tying in the pink. All I've done after this is I have assembled the card by laying this over a piece of layering. Then I put it onto my 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 note card. I've added the little flower and I've added some twine. And that's it. Hey, thanks for joining me. I truly appreciate your time. And I'm so happy that you spent it with me. If you have any questions or comments, or you have a question about how I actually assembled the card, please don't hesitate to leave that for me, and I will get back to you. All right, have a wonderful, wonderful week, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.